times 1 is 5. Okay, and so the next step is to take x minus c. And we could have done either of these steps first because we don't need that to do this. This step is x minus c, which is right there, and that's less than delta. So either one of those steps could be first because they're not related to each other. They're separate. Okay, now step 2 is to take the function, which was 5x, and subtract the limit. Okay, so the function minus limit. Now, you should notice there's a difference in this question. There's no number, there's no decimal up in the question. So if there's no decimal in the question, the only difference is you just write epsilon instead of the decimal. Very basic. All four of these are almost the same. If there's a number, you put it here. If there's no number, you put epsilon. That's the only difference. So you ought to be able to finish these. Pause, see what you can do there. Now, we're trying to match these up. So we're going to factor out a 5. So if we factor out a 5, we get that, which we're almost, that's what we want, but we don't want that 5 there. So we're going to factor that out. So delta, that's looking a little bit too much like an 8. I should be careful with that tail there. Delta is going to be equal to epsilon divided by 5. Okay? And our last example of our first notes. Don't judge our class by these notes here. It's the first time. It's going to get better. It's going to be good. We got this. All right, so last one. Pause. Cover this up. You want to try and do this just like if it was a test question. This is really important. It's really going to be on you guys this year to step up and how you do these things. So, step 1. Pause the video. Try it. You come back and we calculate the limit. So the limit is what we get when we plug that in there. 2 times 4 plus 1, that's 8, plus 1 is 9. So the limit's 9. Our alternate first step could have been going directly to, it's always x, absolute value x, minus c is less than delta. So either of those steps could come first. Doesn't really matter, but pause, do the next step, and that's going to be the function minus the limit. And because there's no decimal up there, this is going to be epsilon. So we're going to get 2x minus 8. Remember, we want to match it to this. We're going to factor out a 2. That's going to be x minus 4. And that's epsilon. And divide by 2 so they match. So now delta, that's a little bit better delta maybe, is equal to epsilon divided by 2. And that concludes our first notes of Calculus 2020. And don't judge the class by those notes. It gets better. All right. If you have some questions, you can email me, or we'll try to get the chat feature working. But we'll get on those questions, or in class when we're doing the Google Meet. All right, that's it. Have a good day. Start on the assignment. Check your odds in the back of the book.